YouTube? This is All Talk with Jez. This is Ethan. I'm Dominic. And we are about to get into Summerslam 2019. It's about to come up this Sunday. And we're going to give our predictions. And this is a little preview about it.
I'm going to start off with the Cruiserweight title match. Drew Gulak versus Oney Larkin. Neither me or him really follow 205 Live, admittedly, but I do know both of these gentlemen from their time on NXT, and I have kept up with Drew Gulak a little bit even before that, a little bit on 205 Live. This will probably be like dark horse for match of the night. They give it enough time because Drew Gulak's an excellent submission specialist type wrestler, and Oney Larkin knows how to put on a good match too. So Drew Gulak will probably retain his belt here, but this should be a damn
I know
match.
him, so I know he's good, so I'll just go for him.
Drew Gulak?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really underrated, especially in the ring too. He's kind of getting his just dues now with them giving him the Cruiserweight title because he did put Matt Riddle over and Kushida on NXT. So
I missed probably the last 4 weeks of NXT.
We're not going over the Toronto card, but that card is fucking stacked too. That match.
When they don't ever have the greatest stuff ever.
Dude.
So,
and I do think I know, again, like I said, we're not going over the Toronto card, but I do think Tommaso is probably going to return this weekend. Me personally, I don't think he'll be in a match till November or something, but I do think he's returning sometime this week. But anyway, Drew Gulak is probably retaining his belt, and this would be a dark horse match of the night. All right, next up, just a heads up, we're just doing it off of Wikipedia, so this is no particular match order. But next up, we're looking at Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair. Dom, why don't you kind of let me in on what's been going on in the weekly shows a little bit?
like I said, this is all about just kind of proving, that Trish still got it. You know what I'm saying? Also, Charlotte has never been one of the superstars that the writers always wanted to put down in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So she either gonna win a belt or somehow she gotta be in a match with somebody big that still is about as big as a title match, if per se. So
Charlotte is definitely she's the best performer in women's wrestling right now in WWE. One of the best performers, period, men and women.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's got the superstar quite as Becky Lynch, but she probably is the best all-around performer that they got in the women's right now.
Right. I think she got the superstar power, which is the reason why she can carry a match. I think without the title being on the line. You know what I'm saying? We are yet to kind of see where Becky kind of goes without these championships. I think she kind of cool considering that she had that WrestleMania main event, so that's always attached to her belt. So, you know what I'm saying? But I think for the pick, I think that Charlotte comes out with the win.
I feel like this is purely just to up Charlotte's legacy status more, and also it's in Canada, so obviously Trish Stratus makes sense. But yeah, this should be an alright match. I've seen nothing as far as cameo appearances in the Royal Rumble and stuff to make me think Trish Stratus has dropped off that much, so this will probably be a solid match. But yeah, Charlotte Flair for the win here, definitely.
Yeah, and if Trish do win, which I don't see happening, Charlotte is gonna demolish her after the match.
Just don't
in front of her home state, so her home country, so whatever.
I'm getting tired of seeing these legends. So man.
Not the way I think Trish looks better than every WWE diva. I just seen her. She is the most gorgeous female I've ever seen in wrestling right now.
Just about
for her age.
Yeah, she's aged like fine wine and whiskey. All right, next up we got Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler. Not a particular fan of this match for real, but especially with how it's come along, I would have much rather seen The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. I feel like they got a good story going, especially with their Talking Miz segments. Don't really see how Goldberg really fit into all this, except they probably want him to make up for that abysmal Saudi Arabia show. But
well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you where I forgot to say that he fits in. Dolph Ziggler specifically called Goldberg out. in one of the episodes where
he
did where he actually was talking about, he was talking about Shawn Michaels, and he was like, these legends, something don't put on these great matches. I mean, you seen Goldberg, he's terrible or something like that. He said something like that along the lines of he's not good anymore. He didn't say Taker, he said Goldberg specifically. And
what people forget is, and I'm not doing this to disrespect Bill Goldberg, I do like him as a performer and an entertainer, but he's never been great in the ring. Even dating back to his prime in WCW, he's never put on fucking 5-star matches or nothing like that, so there's no great anymore. Dolph Ziggler and guys like Matt, you've seen Matt Riddle wrestle him too, right? Yeah, but he's never been that great in the ring.
It's just basically about proving that he has wrestling ability still.
Well, because I don't even think it's that. I just think it's him just trying to rectify the side. It doesn't even have to be. It can be a 30-minute. It can be a 30-second squash, and that will rectify the Saudi Arabia show. You know what I'm saying? But obviously Goldberg's going to get the squash win here. Probably it'll probably be under 5-minute match.
And I think that's kind of stupid because they keep doing this with Goldberg. I remember he beat Brock Lesnar really quick.
And I didn't mind that. It led up to one of the better parts of WrestleMania the next year. That was probably one of my second or third favorite matches on that whole WrestleMania card was Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. And plus, once again, they rectified their WrestleMania 20 match that they had about 15 years ago. That was absolutely
Which is funny because, like I said before, Goldberg is starting to become the guy that's got to do that now.
He's got to make up for lost time or shitty matches that he put on. And like I said, no disrespect to Bill Goldberg, the athlete. I've always been a fan of. I've always never cared to watch him. He's always put on a good, entertaining performance, but I just don't want to see him anymore.
And he's in good shape and everything, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes,
move on to acting.
Yeah, or something.
Permanently, because he's had performances in the longest yard. But tired of seeing him in a wrestling ring, personally. Especially if he's going to be going over stars who shouldn't, like Dolph Ziggler. But Goldberg by probably under 5-minute squash.
Same Goldberg.
Next up, we got the United States title match between AJ Styles and Ricochet, which, in my opinion, probably will be match of the night.
There's no way for it not to be.
Dom, what's been going on? Just so you guys know, I only really watch Raw and SmackDown highlights, so I don't really catch a lot of what goes on the weekly shows outside of that, so I use him and Gerald to kind of keep me updated.
AJ Styles is pretty much a heel now.
Oh, he's definitely a heel.
Yeah, he's a heel now, so but AJ Styles is such a performer, and so is Ricochet. So it's almost like a battle to see who's I don't know. I wouldn't say better performer because I still was
a better athlete.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit matches.
I don't even like. I don't even like.
Athleticism.
Yeah. I don't even like comparing that because it's
it's two different levels. I think Ricochet, even though AJ is phenomenal at high flying, I do think Ricochet's got him beat there. But AJ Styles is probably the better technical wrestler, even though once again I do think Ricochet is pretty good.
This is what I think Ricochet could it's he could be the best performer in WWE right now. The dude is. You want to see him wrestle.
They're literally trying to build him up to be a superhero.
The difference is
in a good way.
The difference is age. AJ Styles can still do this stuff at his age, where Ricochet can do his stuff what he's supposed to do in his prime. You know what I'm saying? AJ Styles don't really seem like he's slowing down in terms of how he, performs.
He wants to get on a lighter schedule, but his performance is showing he doesn't really need to from a shape standpoint. He can still go in the ring on a weekly basis.
Right.
But yeah, AJ Styles has been one of the best consistent performers for going on 20 years now. In my opinion, he's probably been the best wrestler of the past 2 decades. Give or take, not overrating the guy. You guys can argue about this with me in the comments, but give or take, I think AJ Styles has been the most consistent performer of the past 2 decades in the 2000s, even counting his time in TNA.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Because even then, I was still like, this is the guy. This is the best wrestler probably in North America right now. Not right now, but overall in the past 2 decades.
So if you match his chemistry with somebody, I think it'll be like Ricochet, it will be fantastic. I think that.
And it has been fantastic. Whether it's in their matches on Raw, that I have caught one of them, which was good, and their match at what was it, Extreme Rules? Yeah, best match of the night, Extreme Rules too. So yeah, as far as picks go, it's kind of iffy for me because I know they are trying to push the club thing, like kind of now, outside of that horrendous Raw reunion segment where all the legends went over on them. Remember that?
Yeah, and then I'm also trying to think that if something was to happen where the club gets involved, I'm wondering who would be like by Ricochet's side, like to come out and help him.
I don't think. Here's my thing. I'm gonna pick Ricochet here, but I think the club will try to get involved, and then somebody's going to get involved to side with Ricochet, but that's going to move AJ Styles and the club into a whole new rivalry while Ricochet kind of runs that United States title picture for a little bit.
Yeah, it could work that way too, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I prefer it to be, but either way, I don't care if they do keep AJ Styles and Ricochet going for another pay-per-view or two. You know they're always going to put on a good performance. But I do think if you do want to solidify Ricochet's main card status, especially since he already has a win over AJ Styles, that you do give him a win here too. Let him run that mid-card picture for a little bit.
Yeah, I got AJ Styles though for the win. So.
It could go either way, but yeah, I prefer they do Ricochet and move AJ Styles and the club onto another feud.
AJ Styles don't need the win.
No, exactly.
Ricochet needs the win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so. Yeah. So
Ricochet. I got Ricochet.
And I got AJ Styles. Okay, the next match is Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor.
The Fiend.
That's gonna be a very, very interesting match.
Here's my thing. I know, I keep saying it. But here's my thing. If everything surrounding like the rumor mill is true and Finn Balor's going away, taking a break, letting himself heal up and getting reinvigorated again after this, they might as well put Bray in there and squash him. You know, like if they're really like dead set on pushing the Fiend, as they should be, if Finn Balor's going away for a while, have the Fiend squash him. Like give Finn Balor little to no offense and have the Fiend squash him in under 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because you can bring back Finn as a reinvigorate. You don't even got to remember this, bringing Finn back. You can always bring Finn back and have the Demon go against the Fiend.
Yeah.
Which I still...
Because eventually I think that they would have to collide. Because, I mean, the funny thing is they already fought before, but it wasn't this Bray Wyatt.
Let's not even talk about that because they tried to have Bray dress up and drag the face of the Pumpkin Demon, and I just wasn't for it. Thankfully, Bray Wyatt got sick and they had Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, and we're getting this instead.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Bray is probably the best addition that's been going on right now. Like his moments, like I said before, like even right now we haven't seen this guy's style. I already know that his special is the Mandible Claw because he's done that more than once now.
Yeah.
But you don't know what his trick's gonna be in the ring and stuff.
They've done a really good job at keeping what he's going to do in the ring a secret, and they've done a good job in the weeks leading up to this match at just booking him, period, which is surprising from a WWE standpoint, but also shows Paul Heyman's creative genius here, and also Bray Wyatt's, because they are letting Bray Wyatt kind of run with this on his own, too. So it kind of shows how far ahead these guys are of the, probably Vince McMahon, but I'm going to say the writing staff too. But yeah, Bray probably had the best segment on the Raw reunion. Thank God for Mick Foley, who's actually willing to put younger guys over compared to Stone Cold and all those guys who were just like, I just want to get my moment in, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not for it. Put the younger guys first. Even though Bray's not that young, he's still part of that. He's going to be on next week's show. You guys aren't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. As far as predictions on my end goes, Fiend, definitely. I prefer they do it in a squash type of situation, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do let Finn get his shit in, but yeah, Fiend all the way.
Yeah, I'm counting about 2 squash matches on this card because I think they want to give more time to like the bigger matches.
Which they should. Yeah. Brock Lesnar and Seth deserves more time than it got at WrestleMania, especially since it's probably going to main event this show.
Right, yeah, so you got that. And like I said, Seth Rollins is going, it's hard for, we'll get to that when we get to that part. But yeah, I got Bray Wyatt winning this match against Finn. So.
He's got shit to say about Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. Next up, we got Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, which, if all goes well, would be our third squash match of the night. Kevin Owens is probably one of the best top 2 or 3 running gigs in WWE right now with his pipe bomb shtick. But,
super versatile, too, that guy.
There is no reason Shane McMahon should win this unless they really want to push the narrative that Kevin Owens is the outlaw, because I can see them doing something very, very idiotic where Shane McMahon wins and Kevin Owens is just jumping barricades and shit, and I just don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see this as Shane McMahon's kind of write him off TV for a bit.
It's gonna be a interesting match because you're gonna see tables broken or announcement tables and stuff broken, and you know stuff is gonna happen.
Did they ever announce this as a specialty type match? No, it's just a regular singles match.
Yeah, but
you'll probably get Drew McIntyre and Elias in there.
Well, 100%. So
unfortunately,
but what's gonna happen 100% is Cedric Alexander is definitely gonna come out
to stop Drew McIntyre and Elias.
Yeah, because they've been colliding.
I know Drew and Cedric has, which that's part of my gripe with Drew right now. But and I like Cedric Alexander, but I'm a big fan of Drew McIntyre.
Drew, I think Cedric is just and no shade, all tea but shade, but I think that he's a bit beneath Drew. You know what I'm saying?
Like, not from a talent standpoint.
Not from a talent standpoint, but from a superstar standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you gain from beating Cedric Alexander? I mean, you know, like...
He gains nothing for him.
Dominance.
He gets his shit back once he gets a win over him, but they can push Cedric after that.
I want Drew and Brock Lesnar to fight.
I don't care about that now. Dude's lost to Roman Reigns. God knows how many times, and now he's lost to Cedric Alexander, so who the fuck wants to see him with Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
Just coming from me personally.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, I see Kevin Owens dominating Shane McMahon until some shit happens that results in some outside interference, and then Kevin Owens will get his shit back, and Kevin Owens should pick up the victory here, barring any stupid writing decisions.
This gotta be it. So yeah, because if not, the stipulation is
if Kevin Owens loses, he will quit WWE.
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen because it's
like I said, I can see some stupid fucking storyline going on with Kevin Owens jumping barricades and assaulting people outside the arena and shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or something happens where it get overturned. I don't know.
Yeah. But I don't want to see that. Yeah. I've seen that so many times, so I just don't want to see that.
And then Sami Zayn ain't got no role in anything, so yeah.
Alright, next up we're going to do Bayley versus Ember Moon. The only build I've seen to this is Ember Moon throwing Bayley to Charlotte, and Charlotte hitting Bayley with her shit, and then Ember Moon getting the jump on both of them. So it seems like they're kind of trying to create some animosity between them, but for the most part, this is babyface versus babyface.
This gonna end in a handshake. I mean, it's gonna end. First of all, Bayley, she did her move on her, and then for some reason, on this Monday on Raw, she thought that Ember Moon was supposed to trust her by helping her up again. So Ember Moon kind of moved back, like, why would I do that again? You just fucking slammed me last time, like, so, you know what I'm saying? So, but it ended up being just cool. Like, she didn't do that. It was more like a payback thing from what Ember did to her. So,
they could be setting up an Ember heel turn, which,
I don't know, because people don't like Bayley like that. If you kind of like, if she turned on Bayley, I don't think it would really. Bayley is right in the middle, but she's slightly more on the face side.
I feel like she's definitely a face as far as personality and shit goes, obviously. And I do feel like she has kind of gotten some momentum back since getting traded to SmackDown, because they have booked her pretty decently. Pretty strong, too.
Yeah.
They've had her go over Alexa Bliss. They've had her go over Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which should be a big deal, especially now that those are your women's tag team champions. Right. You can look back on that and say, wow, Bayley's fucking legit. You know what I'm saying? She's the fucking bee's knees. But, yeah. As far as predictions go, I am going to pick Bayley, but it should be a solid match here. They can both go in the ring. I do expect Ember Moon to pull off some athletic high-flying shit, but yeah, I'm going with Bayley definitely.
Yeah, I'm going with Bayley too. I would love it if Ember win, because they got to give her something here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has gotten Asuka. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't gotten any real
Asuka's gotten stuff with what she's been up to, except teaming with
she gonna win
Kairi Sane.
Well, they gonna win the tag team belt at WrestleMania from
we'll see.
Alexa and Nikki.
We'll see.
Because it's just it came down to them and Alexa Bliss. It was a fatal
three-way.
Yeah. It was a four-way.
Oh, the four-way.
Yeah, and Peyton Royce was the first out.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, they was the first out.
Makes sense.
It was already a new champion already. And I told my mom way beforehand, I said, well, Alexa and Nikki's going to win this. I knew that way off rip. So,
well, I think you're kind of going too far ahead with WrestleMania. I think Asuka and Kairi Sane will probably win it before that. Because we still got 9 months out to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then they dumb, like I said, which I like Nikki's crazy kid. They seen that just wasn't working. It wasn't doing anything. They kind of lowered her down to the way Alexa Bliss is. She just kind of really huggy with Alexa, like, oh, she's my best friend and stuff like that. But something could happen. Let me tell you something. Actually, I'm wrong about that. I think Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, somewhere down the line, is going to end up fighting.
Oh yeah, that's going to erupt, definitely.
And it's going to be when they lose the belts.
Or it could be one of them betraying the other to lose the belts. But either way, the situation's still the same.
Yeah.
I just think that they need to get back to booking Nikki Cross as the I know, and not the let's get a cup of coffee.
I think WWE got a really big problem with dragging out gimmicks. They sometimes when they just get tired of them, they don't want to protect them as much, and
Well, they didn't even really try the crazy thing with Nikki Cross for real when they moved her up. They just kind of stuck her. They were switching her between shows after the initial NXT star bring up with Lars Sullivan and them, and then they just kind of stuck her with Alexa Bliss once they put her on a show. They haven't really given the crazy thing. They could still be good down the line if they try it later on, but yeah, I don't really care for what they did with her throughout the whole Bayley and Alexa Bliss rivalry, but she's got the tag belts now, so let's see what they do. Alright, next we got the Raw Women's title match, which is a submission match between Becky Lynch versus Natalia. I saw the first night build up to this when Natalia won the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, and I could already tell I wasn't going to like the build up to this.
Yes, Natalia just is always just...
She's too nice.
She just been here. here. Like, and I don't believe her. You know, like, she doesn't come off as somebody.
I don't believe her when she tries to be a badass.
Yeah,
like it felt so forced when she, like, what did she say? It ended with the word bitch, but
yeah,
I just didn't believe it. I was not sold on it.
Yeah, she was pushing people on this Monday. She was just Natalia is just not. She is not it, Chief. She just ain't for me.
I mean, this is kind of to show that Natalia is still like they're here. You know, they're in Canada, so it makes sense that they put her in a pretty high key match with Becky Lynch. But I'm not sold at all on her winning. I'd be very surprised. They could pull it out their ass though, but yeah.
I definitely can see Brett and them being there to support her in the audience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, you know,
like during her entrance, you know.
But there's no reason for her to beat
Becky
Lynch. It serves no purpose. Natalia could lose that on Monday Night Raw the very next day to Becky over again. So I wouldn't. I don't even know why it's booked. If I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, like,
because they're in Canada.
Yeah, because they're in Canada. So yeah.
But yeah, Becky Lynch, definitely, 100%.
Yep.
I can see them fucking it up. Per usual, but Becky Lynch.
Yep, Becky.
Next is the WWE Championship match between Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. This has been kind of a rivalry I've been looking forward to since Kofi won the belt, because I knew as soon as they put him in there with Randy for promos that their stuff from 2009 and 2010 was going to be brought up. And
that was real stuff too that they showed.
Yeah, Kofi fucked up, and Randy kind of told Vince and them, hey, he ain't it right now, Chief, and that kind of deep pushed Kofi, who was on a good run at the time. So Kofi could have won the title probably around that time, but Orton kind of put the screws to him.
which brings me to thinking that Kofi, I think, will 100% like win this, because I feel like you're gonna have like a whole lot of like people thinking about, like, you know what I'm saying, what they've been through and stuff like that, and Kofi almost like he got something to prove to Randy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what it seems like. It's like he has something to prove.
I can see Kofi winning, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Randy here just because I do think he's at a good spot in his career right now, character-wise and performance-wise, and I just never, like, WWE is a heel company, you know, so, and they're all for proving, like, hey, our guy, the bad guy, was right the whole time, you know, and it's already known that backstage that WWE haven't really gone 100% with this Kofi run. He hasn't really been a good drawing champion, so I can definitely see them putting the title on a bigger star, Randy Orton, right now, even if it would make sense for Kofi to get
$5.
$5? Bet. But yeah, I got Randy.
I got Kofi winning that. Like I said before,
don't really see it being that exciting of a match, though. Randy Orton does not excite me from an in-ring standpoint. Hasn't for a while. About to get into it.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, the main event, the one for all the marbles, the WWE Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Dom, I'll let you start on this one.
Okay, so Seth Rollins been getting his ass beat, okay? Within 6 days, I don't understand how he could just come back in a normal match and beat up Brock Lesnar. That's very, very, like, still there. And they painting him too much, like this big, let me explain the whole, like Cena, almost like he's a super human now, where, you know what I'm saying?
That's like, what it looks like it's going to have to take for him to win if he's going into the match already compromised too.
Yeah, and that's what I said before. The match is a singles match. It's not like no holds bar match. Only thing I can see is Seth Rollins somehow injuring him to the point where Brock has to give up the belt or he can't compete, or which it would be stupid. That would never happen. But Seth Rollins, I just can't see him beating Brock Lesnar. But I know for a fact in my gut he's going to win. It's what he said. He was talking about on Monday Night Raw about how this is all he's got, and he promised that he'll beat Brock Lesnar. But how?
We'll see. This match will probably it'll be a good match. Brock tends to do good against these younger athletic guys like AJ Styles and Seth Rollins, and even Daniel Bryan to a lesser extent. Still a solid match with Daniel.
Could we see a heel turn from Paul Heyman, possibly?
Oh, especially since he's backstage right now. I'm going to hold off on that, but I can definitely see that happening right now. Because especially since Paul Heyman has even broke the fourth wall on air, that he's got all the strokes, so I can see something like that definitely happening.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, logically, how do you see him, who is still hurt, beating Brock Lesnar?
It's going to be a long, drawn-out match. This is probably going to go on for 20 minutes where Brock's beating the shit out of him. You know
but are they going to neglect the fact that he is still injured? You know what I'm saying?
Brock's going to focus on his injuries for the first 15 or 20 minutes.
And then after that it's over. I don't see how he can really it's gonna be Super Cena, except it's gonna be Super Seth. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't even let Roman Reigns fucking go over like this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or scenario.
Like, he toughed it out, but he still lost that WrestleMania last year. So
right.
Whereas Seth Rollins is already coming in compromised, he would have to tough out his injuries and win somehow. So
scenario.
Obviously, the ref could always get knocked down, low blows and steel chairs, and that could be what does Brock in. But yeah,
I was thinking Paul Heyman maybe grab something, maybe the belt, and try to hit Seth Rollins, but instead hits Brock and causes Brock the match. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that could happen. I just feel like a fair match, I don't see Seth beating him.
I will say this, whoever does come out of there, and I am picking Seth, but whoever does come out of there, with how backstage rumors have been talking about, whoever wins will probably drop the belt to Braun Strowman. Dom hasn't been on the Braun Strowman train as much lately, but I still got faith in him.
What is he doing right now?
I think that Bobby Lashley match did kind of pick his momentum up a little bit, but I know that he squashed a jobber a couple weeks ago. Did he do anything this week on Raw?
I'm sure he flipped a car or a table or he fought some guy who just he didn't even have an entrance music. He said this won't take long. We all knew it wasn't. He threw him around, showed his dominance that he's been doing. I just can't.
That's what I think is going to happen after this. I think whoever's champ is heading into a rivalry with Braun Strowman. Because I don't see what Braun's going to do outside of the title.
Right.
Who else would they give to Braun?
Has Brock and Braun really actually legitimately fought?
Not since No Mercy a couple years ago, no. Which Braun, this whole writing with him frustrates me, man, because he should have won the title back in 2017, in my opinion, at SummerSlam when it was the Fatal 4-Way with him, Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Brock. But he didn't. But he didn't take the pin in that match, so I was like, alright, they're still setting him up. And they did do the Brock versus Braun match at No Mercy. It ended up being a shitty match, and Brock still went over. I was like, oh, so you really are like not on board with this motherfucker. They still kind of kept building him. He did lose. They still put him in triple threat matches and shit with Brock, where he didn't get pinned, but he still couldn't get the win. And then he lost that Elimination Chamber match. remember the 7-man where he eliminated everybody but Roman Reigns. That motherfucker, but anyway. And then last year, the Saudi Arabia stuff, the Money in the Bank stuff, all that stuff, and they still didn't put the belt on him. So
yeah, he won the Royal Rumble for no reason at all. That greatest Royal Rumble.
Well, let's not even like get into the deep Saudi Arabia shit, but let's just be short with it. Winning in Saudi Arabia don't mean shit. They haven't done shit with that dude Mansoor on NXT since then. It could be packaging him up and building him up for post takeover, but
he needs to be revamped. Like he needs a whole nother like.
I think they need to keep, not even revamped. They just need to cut out the silly, childish stuff with him.
Arm wrestling matches and like I don't give a.
And like even Braun said, I didn't want to be in a program with the comedians at WrestleMania. What was it, the Saturday Night Live guys?
Yeah, like
Braun even said I didn't want to do it, but it did get him a lot of publicity, which is good.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. Even Braun said he didn't want to be in a program, but it ended up being for the best afterwards because it did get him in like newspapers and magazines and all that.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't hear shit about it.
It's a Saturday Night Live guy, so it's going to get some publicity. But yeah, I'm going with Seth Rollins. I don't necessarily know how the match ends, but I do think either way, whoever does win this is getting set up for a program with Braun Strowman after this.
Yeah, because like I said before, Seth just completely.
And Seth's been like.
He's been getting his ass beaten. What you think?
Seth is like. He's definitely like the WWE guy through and through. So they're going to book him strong with how because you've been keeping up with his Twitter posts, right?
Who?
Seth Rollins?
A little bit. Right. I did when he kind of made that little laughing thing at. Who was it? Chris Jericho laughing at him when he said about the whole. Them being the best.
He's a shill. He's a WWE shill, and WWE likes their shills. So they're definitely going to book Seth Rollins strong, but are they going to book him stronger than Brock Lesnar?
Right.
That's the question. And I do think he's going to get the win, so they're probably on board with that. But, yeah. Seth Rollins, don't know how the match ends. Probably some super Seth Rollins shit. And whoever does win is going to set up with
Or if you really want to insert Braun into something, you have him cost Brock Lesnar the belt. That's the only thing that I can see happening. Brock ain't got no role in nothing. If you really want to go toe-to-toe with somebody and prove your fucking dominance, Brock Lesnar would be the guy to do that. So I could see him costing Brock maybe the title.
Maybe, but I feel like that'd be too much.
Would it?
I think so. There's no reason to include Braun in it until the champion is already established. I would much rather see Braun do a post-match attack or come out the next night on Raw and stake his claim.
But it depends on how badly Brock Lesnar destroys him. It could be to the point where somebody comes out because they don't want to see him getting badly his ass beaten that bad.
That wouldn't be Braun Strowman.
Yeah, so.
You don't give a fuck.
Or Brock can get himself DQ'd. I don't know. That could go in, but
that would be so shitty for a SummerSlam. You gotta think SummerSlam is supposed to be kind of like your second WrestleMania, so you don't want to end on that note.
Yeah, so I got Seth Rollins. So that was our SummerSlam recap. We looking forward to it Sunday. We already told y'all our picks and stuff like that, and yeah, I'm definitely, we got money and stuff like that on the line.
Yeah,
for some of these matches.
So. Also, too, we were supposed to have Gerald in this video, but unfortunately, work complications got in the way of that. We know he's a good addition to our little wrestling crew. So, yeah. So hopefully we can get him in more videos. But other than that, I've been Ethan from All Talk with Jeds.
I'm Dominic, and we will see y'all in the next video.
Yeah.